Today, let's talk about Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. These laws are not just strategies for success, but they are reflections of human behavior, they are the reflections of psychology and the dynamics that govern influence in every sphere of life. From political figures to business moguls, from global leaders to everyday professionals, these laws have been applied in various forms, transforming the course of history and shaping the power structures we see today. But let me make one thing clear. These laws are not about manipulation, or these laws are not about controlling others. They are the tools. They are the tools that, when used ethically, they allow us to understand human nature, to create meaningful connections, and to build pathways for success. Today, we are going to take a deep dive into these laws and understand how they can be applied to our personal and professional lives. By the end of this session, my hope is that you will gain valuable insights that will empower you to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and influence the world around you in a positive way. So, let's start this session with the law 1. So, the first law is never outshine the master. The rule, never outshine the master, it teaches us an important lesson. Always make those above us, they should feel secure and they should feel respected. When we highlight their strengths, acknowledge their leadership, and align with their vision, we can build trust and we can create opportunities for growth. It is not about suppressing our talents, but it is about showing respect and understanding the balance of power. For example, if we take Amit Shah. Amit Shah is a great example of this principle. He worked closely with Narendra Modi, aligning his strategies with Modi's vision. Amit Shah became a key player in expanding the BJP across India, but he always positioned himself as Modi's trusted ally, never overshadowing Narendra Modi. His success amplified Modi's stature, and this balance made Amit Shah one of India's most powerful leaders without challenging Modi's anarchy. Another example is T. Harish Rao in Telangana, VRS party. Despite being sidelined initially in favor of KTR, he stayed loyal to KCR. He worked hard to strengthen the party and delivered good results. His patience and respect for KCR's leadership, it eventually earned him the position of finance minister, proving that loyalty and persistence, they lead to success. On the other hand, Punglets University, who is rebel at heart, when he was in BRS party, he shows what can happen when this role is ignored. His growing popularity, it was perceived as a threat to KCR's leadership, which eventually led to his expulsion, maybe directly or indirectly. Of course, later he became a minister in Telangana State Congress Party government. That's a different story. When someone's rise overshadows the leader, it can create insecurity and retaliation. Even in the corporate world, acknowledging a manager's expertise and seeking their guidance. It fosters positive relationships and open doors for career growth. Remember, highlighting others' strengths, it doesn't become yours. It builds trust. It builds trust and it builds respect. It can build opportunities for success. By following this rule, you can rise without creating conflict and it ensures lasting success. So, follow the rule number 1 for success without shining your master. Then let's go to law number 2, second law. Never put too much trust in friends. Friends in politics can often be like shadows. They stay with you when the sun is shining, but they disappear when clouds gather. The rule never put too much trust in friends. It teaches us that in the political battlefield, loyalty is fleeting and self-interest reigns supreme. Let me give you 2 examples that prove why trust in friends must always come with caution. For example, in Maharashtra, the BJP and Shiv Sena, they were allies for decades. They fought elections together, built strong coalition, and they stood shoulder to shoulder for years. But in 2019, when it was time to form the government, their friendship crumbled. Shiv Sena party, they demanded the chief ministerial post as part of their power sharing agreement. The BJP refused. What happened next? Shiv Sena did the unthinkable. It joined hands with its ideological rival, the Congress party, the Congress and NCP, just to keep the BJP out of power. Decades of trust collapsed overnight because interest clashed and friendship couldn't hold it. Now, let's move to Bihar in 2017. Nitish Kumar allied with RJD and Congress in 2015 to keep the BJP out of power. Together, they won the elections, but just 2 years later, Nitish walked out of the alliance. Why? He cited corruption. He cited corruption charges against his RJD ally, Tejasvi Yadav. And he shifted his support to the BJP, the very party he had opposed. His move shocked his allies, but it kept him in power. Once again, trust gave way to ambition. What do these stories teach us? In politics and even in life, blind trust is a dangerous gamble. Friends may not always betray you, but self-interest often overrides loyalty. Always guard your interest. Always stay prepared for the unexpected. And most importantly, remember one thing, alliances can shift, promises can break, but your strength lies in your ability to adapt and rise above the chaos. Trust your instincts, and not just your friends. Learn from these lessons and you will not only survive, but you thrive no matter how turbulent the storm is. Then let's go for the third law of power. Law number 3. Conceal your intentions. Conceal your intentions, keeping your plans discreet. It allows you to maintain a strategic advantage. This law does not advocate deceit, but it encourages mindfulness about the information you share. It's about controlling the narrative and ensuring your goals remain intact. The rule, conceal your intentions. It teaches us to keep our real goals hidden while showing a purpose that everyone can support. This approach helps us gain trust and avoid opposition. Take the Anna Hazare movement, for example. People saw as a fight against corruption. It was focused on holding the Congress party, which is in power at the time, Congress party accountable for all the corruption. But this movement had a hidden agenda. This hidden agenda is to weaken the then Congress ruling government and help the BJP party rise to power. The movement's anti-Congress focus, it created an opening for the BJP to become a strong alternative. Now, look at Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party. Kejriwal joined the anti-corruption movement as an activist and earned public trust, but he kept his political ambitions hidden. When the time was right, he formed the Aam Aadmi Party and he used the momentum of the movement to rise as the Delhi Chief Minister. So, by staying silent about his plans until the right moment, he avoided resistance and gained massive support from public. These stories, they teach us a powerful lesson. When we hide our true intentions and focus on a bigger cause, we can achieve without facing early challenges. It is about timing, it is about strategy, and it is about knowing when to reveal your plans. This approach not only protects your goals, but also helps you win the trust of others. Now let's see the law number 4. Always say less than necessary. Always say less than necessary. This simple and powerful rule can shape conversations and relationships. When we speak less, we avoid unnecessary conflicts and create curiosity, allowing our actions to speak louder than our words. Silence, when used wisely, it becomes a tool of influence and respect. Narendra Modi exemplifies this principle. He communicates strategically, especially during sensitive situations. For instance, after the India-China clash in 2020 that claimed the lives of 20 Indian soldiers, Modi avoided direct debates and press meets. Instead, he projected non-violence. While letting his actions and media convey his message. This approach kept the focus on the nation's resolve rather than political arguments. Similarly, Manmohan Singh, who is known for his calm demeanor, he rarely engaged in heated debates or unnecessary remarks. Critics often label him as silent, but his quiet determination, it earned him respect for his violent nature in executing the things. A prime example is the Indo-US nuclear deal in 2008. Despite political resistance, Manmohan Singh fought for this silently and ensured its success, strengthening India's energy, security and global standing. Speaking less doesn't mean saying nothing. It means choosing words with care and letting a silence amplify their impact. Both Modi and Manmohan Singh, they show us that restraint and strategic communication, it can achieve far more than verbosity ever could. Let me tell you a story that teaches us the importance of saying less than necessary. It's about an incident. That shook the political landscape of Andhra Pradesh in 2016. One prominent MLA from TDP party is Mr. Jalil Khan. He claimed in an interview that he studied physics in BCom degree. Now, as soon as these words left his mouth, they triggered a nationwide troll fest, especially in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. People laughed, memes exploded, and jokes flew across social media like wildfire. But the story doesn't end there. The opposition leader at the time, RajaRao, he didn't miss the chance to turn this into political thing in the state assembly. In the state assembly, he used the phrase "become physics" as a satire. As a satire, and it echoed across the state. Jagan's humor and short timing, it added fuel to the fire, damaging not only Jalil Khan's credibility, but also damaged the TDP party's reputation. So the consequences of this one unnecessary statement, they were far-reaching. It wasn't just about one person's blunder. People began questioning. People began questioning the integrity and competence of the entire TDP party at that time. So public trust began to erode, and the opposition gained momentum. When the next elections rolled around, this incident was still fresh in the minds of voters, contributing to the downfall of the TDP party and the rising of YSRCP at that elections. Now, why am I telling you this? Because it's a perfect example of why we must always say less than necessary. Words are powerful. They can build you up, but they can also tear you down. In Jalil Khan's case, a few extra words turned into a political catastrophe. So, here is the lesson. When you are in the spotlight, whether it's politics, business, personal life, think before you speak. Ask yourself, do these words add value or do they leave room for misunderstanding? Silence can be your greatest ally when words are not needed. Remember, the less you say, the less people can use against you. Keep your words meaningful and avoid giving others the ammunition to pull you down. In a world that loves drama, restraint is a sign of wisdom and strength. Let this story remind us to always weigh our words carefully. Say less, but let your actions speak volumes. That's how you avoid the trolls and win the trust of the people around you. In our daily interactions, a leader who listens more than they speak, he gains deeper insights into their team's concern. This approach builds trust and fosters a collaborative environment. Always remember, words are like arrows. Words are like arrows. Once released, they can't be taken back. They are irreversible arrows. So choose those arrows wisely. Then let's move to the fifth law, power of fifth law. So much depends on reputation. Guard your reputation with your life. Your reputation is the foundation of your influence. It's built over time through integrity, consistency, and dedication. A strong reputation opens doors and creates opportunities, while a tarnished one can close them forever. Reputation is the foundation of influence, it is the foundation of trust, and it is the foundation of legacy. It is not just a reflection of how others see us, it defines how the world treats us. Guarding our reputation is not optional, it is a necessity. Let me show you how this truth has been proven in the actions of two extraordinary leaders, Indira Gandhi and the second one is Vladimir Zelensky. First of all, let's talk about Indira Gandhi. In 1971, India faced a massive refugees crisis as millions of people fled East Pakistan during their liberation struggle against West Pakistan. These refugees, they overwhelmed India's resources and threatening its internal security at that time. Indira Gandhi didn't sit back and watch the crisis grow. She understood that India's reputation as a strong and capable nation was at stake. So, she acted with determination. Indira Gandhi traveled across the world, meeting global leaders and building diplomatic support. When atrocities in East Pakistan continued, she made the bold decision. She made the bold decision to wage a war against Pakistan. Her leadership not only led to the birth of Bangladesh, but also elevated India's image globally. India was no longer just a bystander. It became a symbol of justice and regional power. Indira Gandhi fought to protect her nation's reputation and left behind a legacy of strength and courage. Now, let us take the second example of Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. When Russia launched its invasion in 2022, many thought Ukraine would collapse under the pressure of a much stronger opponent. But Zelensky, he refused to surrender. He refused to surrender. He stood firm. He stood firm, understanding that Ukraine's reputation as a sovereign and independent nation was on the line. Zelensky didn't hide or flee. He rallied his people, inspiring them with his unwavering resolve. He addressed global leaders. He gathered international support. And he turned Ukraine's struggle into a symbol of resilience. His actions transformed Ukraine's image from a vulnerable country to a beacon of defense and courage. Today, nations stand with Ukraine. Many nations stand with Ukraine not just because of geopolitics, but because of the reputation. Because of the reputation Zelensky has fiercely guarded. These stories teach us one clear lesson, a message to us. Reputation is not just about perception. It is about survival, it is about respect, and it is about influence. Indira Gandhi fought a war to ensure India's reputation remained untarnished. Zelensky faced a superpower to prove his nation's strength. In both cases, their actions changed the course of history. So, let's remember this. When reputation is at stake, we must act with purpose. We must protect it with everything we have, because reputation shapes how the world sees us and how history remembers us. Always guard your reputation. It is the most powerful weapon you will ever possess. Now let's see the law number 6. The power of law. The law of power. Number 6. Court attention at all costs. Visibility is crucial in a world where recognition matters. By ensuring your contributions are noticed, you prevent others from overshadowing or taking credit for your work. It's not about seeking unnecessary attention, but it is about making your presence felt where it counts. Donald Trump's political playbook, it thrives on commanding attention. He often, by pushing boundaries and sparking intense debates. His controversial embrace of Project 2025, his strategy to dominate public discourse, proposing sweeping changes like dismantling federal agencies, withdrawing abortion medication from the market, and centralizing executive power under the unitary executive theory. These are the bold moves. These bold moves, coupled with promises to revive energy production, restrict immigration, and crack down on woke ideologies, they have polarized the nation. So, while critics decry these ideas as authoritarian and regressive, Donald Trump's ability to channel controversy, it keeps him at the center of the political stage. It ensures that his influence and the debates he ignites, they remain unavoidable. Then we can see Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a maverick entrepreneur and he is an innovator. Musk has turned controversy into an art form when it comes to courting attention. Since acquiring Twitter and rebranding it as X in 2022, Elon Musk has made headlines not just for his groundbreaking ventures, but also for his provocative statements. From sparking debates about political figures and conspiracy theories to challenging societal norms, his posts on X, they have often ignited global discussions. Whether endorsing contentious views, taking jobs at pop culture icons like Taylor Swift, or inadvertently amplifying misinformation, Elon Musk has mastered the skill of staying in the spotlight. His actions while polarizing, they amplify his ability to wield controversy as a tool to remain relevant, fuel discussions, and dominate the public narrative, no matter whatever the consequence. So, both are in the same boat, Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Now, let's see the law number 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Collaboration is essential, but it's always important to ensure your leadership and contributions are acknowledged. This law emphasizes recognizing your role in collective success while giving due credit to others. Let's take a moment to reflect on one of the most powerful laws of human behavior. This is okay. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. This may sound a little bit unfair, but there is a deeper lesson. Here it's about how narratives are shaped and how leadership works. Think about the freedom struggle in India. We have all heard of Mahatma Gandhi, the face of India's independence movement. His name is synonymous with non-violence and peaceful resistance. But here is the truth. Many others from Bhagat Singh to Sardar Patel, they sacrificed their lives and fought tirelessly for freedom. There are a number of freedom fighters are there. But what happened? Gandhi became the symbol. Gandhi became the symbol of Indian independence. He became the one most people credit with India's independence. Yes, he was a powerful leader, but was he the only one who did the work? No. Others laid the foundation, made the sacrifices, and worked towards the same goal. Yet, the narrative built around him made him the face of the movement. Now let's turn to politics in more recent times. Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister, even in 2025, he is still relevant because still politics politics revolves around Nehru. He built the India we know it today. He laid the foundation for our democratic institutions. He is the one who created the first IITs, and he is the one who set the path for modernization. But what happens decades later? Some people, including politicians, those who are in power today, they are running a propaganda. They are running a propaganda against him to discredit Nehru's legacy. They say he didn't do enough or made mistakes, especially when it came to issues like Kashmir and the war with China. Right? Because they want to control the narrative. They want to claim credit for all the progress that happened after Nehru's time and erase the foundational work Jawaharlal Nehru did as first Prime Minister of India. So they use his mistakes as a way to elevate themselves. And why is this important to us? Because it teaches us how much power is in narrative control. The truth often gets overshadowed by how well a story is told. Whether it's in politics or in business or in life, we can learn a lot. We can learn a lot by how history is shaped. So, what is the takeaway here? You don't always have to do everything yourself to succeed. But you must be wise. You must be wise about how you position your work and how you manage your image. Like Gandhi or like Nehru, you can steer the narrative. Make sure your contributions are remembered and claim the credit you deserve. Success often is not about doing all the work. It's about making sure your role stands out and is recognized. In your own life, don't just focus on doing more. Focus on how you present what you do. Be aware of how others are shaping their own stories. Take control of the narrative and ensure your contributions are seen. Understand that the power of recognition and power of credit can elevate your impact for more than hard work. So, this is the law number 7. Now, let's turn to law number 8. The law power number 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Positioning yourself strategically, it can attract opportunities instead of you chasing them. This involves creating value that draws people toward you, making you indispensable. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. It is a principle that teaches to harness the power of influence by focusing on creating value and positioning ourselves as indispensable rather than chasing people or chasing opportunity. When we chase, we relinquish control. But when others are drawn to us, we set the terms. We decide the things. We hold the leverage and we maintain the upper hand. The key lies in crafting an irresistible allure, whether it's knowledge, opportunities, or influence. And using bait that appeals to people's desires or people's needs, sometimes even their fears. This is not manipulation, it's a strategic empowerment. Take, for example, Alexander the Great. His reputation alone was enough to draw cities to his side. Or consider Narendra Modi. He positioned himself as the architect of India's transformation in the view of media. using promises of progress as bait to attract allies and influence public perception through media. By letting others come to us, we conserve energy, we gain psychological advantage, and we enhance our value in their eyes. It's about recognizing our worth. It's about recognizing our worth, building our influence, and staying composed while others realize they need what we are. This law reminds us to play smart, not hard, and to let our presence, potential, and power speak louder than any pursuit. Then let's talk about law number 9, the power of law 9. The ninth law of power. Win through your actions, never through argument. This law is a principle that highlights the power of tangible results over verbal persuasion. Words may spark debates or resistance, but actions leave no room for doubt. They resonate more deeply and they are far harder to dispute. This law teaches us to lead by example, demonstrate competence through deeds, and let our success do the talking. People can argue with your words, but they cannot deny the impact of your actions. In politics, consider Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Instead of engaging in debates about the feasibility of uniting India's princely states, he worked behind the scenes. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he worked behind the scenes using diplomacy and strategic decisions to bring over 500 states into the Indian Union. His results were his argument, and they remain a testament to his leadership. The key takeaway is that actions command respect, actions command credibility, while arguments often spark defensiveness and doubt. Instead of wasting energy on verbal battles, focus on demonstrating your capabilities. Achieve results that speak for themselves, and the world will have no choice but to acknowledge your success. So, in this session, we will talk about the last law, 10th law. Okay, 10th law of power. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, it fosters growth and success. The law infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky, it emphasizes the importance of being mindful of the company you keep. Just as physical diseases, it can spread. The negativity can spread. It is contagious. Pessimism and misfortune, they can infect your mindset, they can infect your emotions, and they can infect your decisions. Surrounding yourself with positive, ambitious, and solution-oriented individuals, it can foster growth, resilience, and success. While consistently engaging with unhappy or unlucky people, it can drain all your energy and it pulls you down. In Indian mythology, if you see an example in Indian mythology, the epic Mahabharata illustrates this principle through Duryodhana's association with Shakuni. Shakuni, who constantly filled his mind with deceit and bitterness. Duryodhana's downfall was largely a result of surrounding himself with toxic influences that fueled his hatred and blinded him to wisdom. This law is not about shunning people in need or evading challenges. It's about recognizing patterns, negative influences, pessimism. If someone's unhappiness or if someone's misfortune, it stems from consistent negative behavior, poor decision making, or a refusal to grow, their influence can become a burden. Surround yourself with people who inspire, who uplift, and who motivates you. Their positivity and their success will be contagious. It fuels your own growth and ensures that you remain on a path of progress and fulfillment. If we take the example of the great legendary India in 1995, the great India found himself surrounded by controversies, surrounded by emotional turmoil towards the latter years of his leadership. His second wife, Lakshmi Parvati, she became a polarizing figure in politics. She created divisions within his party. The legendary India's emotional attachment to her and her growing influence alienated many senior leaders in the party cadre. So at the time, it created an atmosphere of discontent and instability. So, lot of criticism, lot of negativity are all over the media. Whether it can be seen as a betrayal, or it can be seen as a backstabbing, or it can be seen as a strategic genius of RajaRao Pagidipalli. His actions underscore the principle that aligning with positivity, stability, and future-oriented thinking, it often leads to success. While clinging to chaotic, emotionally draining association, it can result in stagnation or downfall, which we can see in the case of the legendary India. In our daily lives, choosing to spend time with motivated and optimistic colleagues, it can enhance our own performance and satisfaction. Positivity is contagious. Positivity is contagious. And by surrounding ourselves with it, we can create an environment for success. We can see the remaining 38 laws in coming sessions. Thank you so much.